Morant will be required to formulate and fulfill a program with the league that directly addresses the circumstances that led him to repeat this destructive behavior, again after brandishing a firearm on social media not once but twice. Ja Morant has also released a statement. Here it is. I've had time to reflect, and I realize how much hurt I've caused. I want to apologize to the NBA, the Grizzlies, my teammates in the city of Memphis, to the kids who look up to me. I'm sorry for failing you as a role model. I promise I'm going to be better. To all of my sponsors, I'm going to be a better representation of our brands. And to all of my fans, I'm going to make it up to you. I promise. He continued saying, I'm spending the offseason and my suspension continuing to work on my own mental health and decision making, end quote. Again, that is a statement just in from Ja Morant upon hearing that the league has decided to suspend him 25 games. We say hello now to our NBA senior insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, what more can you tell us about how the league came to the suspension of exactly 25 games? We had heard less, we had heard more. It's 25. Why?
Sage, essentially 3 times the first suspension that Ja Morant had late last season. That was an 8-game suspension. Now you multiply that by 3, 5 games less than Miles Bridges of Charlotte, who was suspended 30 games last year in a domestic violence situation. So I think for Ja Morant losing 25 games, that's going to come to $7.6 million total for those games, over $300,000 a game. And now, because of the new rule in the league next year and the new collective bargaining agreement that mandates that players play at least 65 games to be eligible for All-NBA, for MVP, for Defensive Player of the Year, 6-man, whatever it is, he's already ineligible to reach the criteria to get the Supermax contract. And so certainly a financial hit for Ja Morant, but I think more importantly, you know, this is a league, this is an organization that understands that Ja Morant needs help. He needs to continue to get help. And I think for the Grizzlies and their relationship with Ja Morant, you know, they're going to have the ability to have him around the facility, in the facility. Now, it's unclear what that means once team practices start, let's say in training camp, or once the games start that Ja Morant can't play in. But he will be able, I'm told, to be around the team and the organization now. And so I think that's important in this process of surrounding him with those people, the professionals in that environment, and certainly physically to be able to work out in that environment is going to be important. But a lot of promises from Ja Morant in that statement today, and apologies. But people want to see action from him. They want to see a change in his behavior. And the league has put stipulations in on this 25-game suspension that Ja Morant is going to have to meet and show them that he has made changes in his life that, as Adam Silver said, the pattern of behavior that led him to do what he did again with a gun on video within a couple months of each other, that they see changes in his lifestyle, and that's certainly going to be a responsibility of the league, the Grizzlies, the people around Ja Morant, but most importantly, Ja Morant.
Yes, and you talked about the financial implications, and they are significant. However, it should be probably the least of anyone's worries because there is obviously a deeper issue here. Woj, quickly, he did say in the end of that statement, as you know, I'm spending the offseason and my suspension continuing to work on my own mental health and decision making. And then, of course, the part of the statement from Adam Silver saying that he'll be required to formulate and fulfill a program with the league to directly address his decision making. I don't recall hearing anything like this for other potential examples in the past that Adam Silver or David Stern have had to levy punishments against players. Do you know exactly what that looks like, the program he's going to be required to fulfill, or is that something we're still learning about?
Yeah, I think that's still a work in progress, Sage. I think it's something that the Grizzlies, that Ja Morant's agent and Ja Morant himself are going to have to learn more about. I think it was purposely open-ended and vague. And I think they're going, again, to look at Ja Morant, the situations he's putting himself in, the people he's with, all of those things that have been factors in what wasn't just the 2 instances with the gun, one in the recent Instagram in the car, the one in the Denver nightclub back during last season that got him the initial suspension, but he's been under investigation by the NBA for a number of situations going back a year and a half. He has been under constant investigation for situations of his doing that he put himself in. And so I think for the league, they need to see an end to the behavior, the decisions, the habits that Ja Morant has put himself in. Listen, this is a face of the league. This is the marquee player for this organization, a potential MVP player. There is a lot invested by a lot of people to get this right.
Once again, a 25-game suspension levied on Grizzly star Ja Morant. And again, it's 25 games, but as Woj has said, he will then have to fulfill the requirements in order to be allowed back in the league. This will certainly be developing as the suspension nears its end. Adrian Wojnarowski with the latest on this breaking news on Ja Morant. Thank you.
Thank you, Sage.
The Chiefs got their Super Bowl rings on Thursday. A lot of people were celebrating yesterday. They are not small, these Super Bowl rings. According to the jeweler, they each contain no less than 613 diamonds and 35 beautiful red rubies. The top of the ring is removable. It shows Arrowhead Stadium with 1, 2, or 3 Lombardi trophies, depending on the recipient's time with the organization. That says a lot. Here's Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes on what is next for KC.
If you look at the team that we have bringing back, I mean, a lot of guys that were on that Super Bowl championship team that are just going to be another year better, another year older. And obviously, we celebrated. I mean, you know us, me, Travis, all the guys, we're going to celebrate. But now, after tonight, we're going to celebrate again tonight. But after tonight, we're going to get it rolling again and try to make sure we're ready to go for this next championship run.
It's fun this offseason, and all it makes you want to do is go and do it again because, you know, you don't want this ride to stop anytime soon.
Patrick already put it out there. The goal is to go back-to-back. Like, it's that simple for you. Do you think that this team could do this again?
Yeah, I think there's a special tier of players and teams that have